are back. Welcome everyone to the FIA European Rally Championship Round 1, Rally Sierra Morena. It is going to be an epic event and an epic season ahead. We have so much to bring you across the weekend. I cannot begin to start. I'm Bex Williams. Alongside me is our rally expert, Ivan Brynildsen. And there is the start list for the qualifying stage, which will be happening in just a few moments' time. Obviously hugely important for the road order, the running of the road order, the decisive running again this weekend, which we kick off with stage 1 this evening. But qualifying is all important. It's a decent stage. It is the same as last year, the same stage, but it's been reversed and lengthened from what we saw last year. Plenty of fans out there ready to enjoy the sunshine. It's going to be a hot weekend. Ivan, how much are you looking forward to this?
Oh, it's great to be back. It's a few months since we saw them last year in the last rally, so it's I've been looking forward to this the whole winter.
I think everybody has. We kickstart then with the 2025 European Rally Champions. Miko Marcik returns to the championship. He had a great season last year, but he wanted to come back to compete against the very best in Europe. And also I feel he's got some unfinished business on some of these rallies, Ivan.
Yeah, definitely. It's some rallies he wasn't disappointed, but he did some mistakes, but in general, overall, he was scoring enough points to win the championship. But I think Sierra Morena, it's a difficult rally. You know, you need to be really committed, and we see now on the qualifying stage, it's quite different to the rest of the rally, and it's an important stage. If you go to Rome, we know that the drivers are speculating, trying to start further back in the field, trying to have some clean lines. But this rally, I've been out there, done some regular stages, and I will be the first car on the road. So it's an important qualifying.
It is an important qualifying, you're absolutely right. And something slightly different for qualifying from our perspective this year is that whoever is fastest through here, we will be holding at the finish line, and they will be presented with a prize come the end of it. But everyone will be focusing right now on getting the perfect advantage out there. They've already had free practice. Jose Suarez was the fastest through in free practice. Miko Marcik was third fastest through, with Teemu Sunninen, who joins the championship this year, second.
Yeah.
But this is the one shot they've got right now.
And you need to be really on their toes. And now we have been climbing up for like half the stage. It's around about 1.5 minutes. Now it's really fast. It's going a little bit downhill now towards the end of the stage. And it's important now to try not to kill the speed, carry as much speed all the time. And I think the first part of the stage is the most important one to avoid mistakes, because it's uphill all the time.
We welcome back to the championship Andrea Mabellini, who came in third position in the championship last year, Virgil Lenzi alongside, and they are in a Lancia Ypsilon this year, representing the Lancia brand. It is Italy through and through in this team this time around.
Yeah, and we have seen the Lancia been performing really well on tarmac. We saw Rosell in Croatia, in ERC 2 was doing really well, and I think then at least it's proven that the car is fast. So maybe a little bit more pressure on Mabellini's shoulder this weekend when we know the car is working well.
Some of the safety crews reporting quite a lot of gravel, just 2 kilometers on a cut into the stage. It's already been pulled out. That's from free practice.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I've been through this stage, like I said, and I didn't expect so much cutting, but obviously they are cutting more than we expect them to do.
Well, that is the first time on the board. This is now the time that everyone has to try and beat out there.
And it's 2/10 behind Suarez's best time on free practice, so it's a good stage, no mistake from Miko, but if it's enough, I'm not really sure.
You can see how aggressive that cut was there as well. There's the stop control then. For the first time during this season, we will hear from Pete Mackay, who's going to be interviewing the drivers for us. So let's cross out to Pete.
Miko, welcome to a brand new year of ERC, and here is the reigning champion. How does that feel?
Yeah, hello everyone. It's good to be here one more time. It's okay. I really appreciate long season in front of us, 7 rounds, mainly on tarmac. Here we are second time. Stages are quite similar to last year. Some of them are reverse, and I'm happy. I would like to use the confidence from the last year, improve little bit in some places, be consistent without any problems like we did it last year. Use well our Skoda car and Michelin tires, and we can.
We lost him a little bit towards the end, apologies for that, but he is glad to be back. He recently won Rally La Llana in preparation for this event, so Miko Marcik in good stead at the moment, in good form. This will be now the second comparable time we see on the board. There's the countdown to Miko Marcik's time.
2:57.2.
The clock has just run on here. We'll get you a full time in just a few moments, but great to see Andrea Mabellini back and Miko Marcik back, and we welcome Isak Riersen to the championship. Full campaign ahead.
We can't come really more closer to Isak's face in this camera position, so we will follow you
up close
very closely.
And personal. We saw some great times from him last season when he made his appearances on ERC. Such a talented young driver. It's a delight to know that he will be competing across the season with us. Let's cross out to Andrea Mabellini then, who set a 2:57.2.
Andrea, welcome back to another year in the ERC and here in Andalusia. How are you feeling ahead of this season?
Yeah, it's for sure something different. As you know, we start to discover a little bit the car. Finally, a proper stage similar to the race, at least. And yeah, we need to discover a little bit. We are still making some changes and everything, but it seems great at the moment. So yeah, we're looking forward for a great season ahead.
0.6 of a second off Miko there. Did you leave anything on the table?
No, I think that we had a good run. Cuts are not the best for me, to be honest, but it seems to be a point of start, let's say. So a little bit too cautious probably at the beginning, but that's okay.
Thing is, if you want the best position on the road, you can't be cautious on the qualifying stage. As he mentioned, just a little bit of hesitation. The cut's not so good for him. On board now with Simone Tempestini and Serge Itu. Great to see them returning to the championship with Team MRF tyres.
Yeah, I had a little chat with them before the qualifying and qualifying stage, and they were really motivated, all the team, and looking forward to a good season.
Let's take a look then at the time for Isak. It's a 2:58. So at the moment, third fastest. We have plenty of drivers, though, heading through this qualifying stage. We'll keep you up to date with the times as much as we possibly can. Team MRF tyres won the championship for teams last season. So no pressure, boys. Again, though, we've seen Tempestini's form on tarmac over the seasons. There's so many drivers right now this weekend who could potentially be on the top step.
Isak, this is fantastic to have you here for a full year in ERC after those performances on gravel last year. How happy are you? Is this a dream come true?
Yeah, of course. It's been some hard work, and to be able to do the full season is, of course, a goal we have. We did some good rallies last year in the ERC on gravel. Now it's the season is not to my advantage, if I say so, with 5 tarmac rounds, but we're here to learn, and we go step by step forward. So nice roads here, I love it. Didn't think I would say that last year, that I would love tarmac, but it's so cool and I really enjoy it.
The thing is, you need to be the complete driver, Ivan, don't you? You know, strength, tarmac is not strength for him right now. That is Miko Marcik and his co-driver Shimon just watching on and waiting to see if they are going to be the fastest drivers through qualifying.
And I think Isak and
the trophy there in front of them.
all of them want the trophy. No, but I was just about to say that Isak is having a good point that he's now looking forward to a season with tarmac to learn.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think that's a clever way to look at it.
A reminder on your screen then to watch everything on Rally TV this weekend. We will be covering every single stage, every service point, and we kick off this evening with a pre-show ahead of the super special stage. So make sure that you know where to find us. Simone Tempestini then completed. It's a time of 3 minutes 0.9 for Simone Tempestini. He'll be chatting with Pete Mackay in just a few moments.
Simone, fantastic to see you back here in the ERC again. I know it was a difficult season last year, but are you feeling refreshed for the new year?
Yeah, for sure. We are happy to be here. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to make some kilometer with the car at the beginning of the season, but for sure, thanks to MRF team, we are here, and we will try to use each kilometer to get back in the rhythm. We will for sure enjoy this rally because it's a beautiful one, but yes, we will try to work the best we can.
He's right, it is a beautiful rally. You're going to see throughout the weekend some beautiful, fast flowing roads, plenty of twists and turns, some abrasive tarmac in there. And what is a contrast to last year is the weather. The temperatures are really high. We're looking at over 30 degrees pretty much every day of the rally. Whereas last year we had a day of heat and a day of rain.
Yeah, it's a completely different ballgame to think about the weather, but I can see Max's Basso is on a really good push. He's very much committed and he's pushing quite hard late on the brakes, and you can see his car is behaving really well, and he's not using the cuts like the others to try to follow more with all four wheels on the tarmac.
Is that to his advantage? I guess we'll find out when we look at the time. Fantastic to have Basso, though, as part of the championship this year. Multiple champion and a living legend.
It's a typical place. You saw Eric there was a little bit unsure with the cut. He went off the throttle on the exit of the corner, had to go back on because he understood it was fine to be in the cut. So it's all these small places where you don't really feel the confidence and you're backing off a little bit, and you suffer so much on long straights like we are seeing now.
Third fastest then for Basso, a second off the pace at the front, which is still held by Miko Marcik.
Gian Domenico, welcome back to the ERC. That's third fastest. How was that run?
Grazie, siamo contenti di essere qui. La prova è bella, è veloce. Spero che i prossimi giorni sia un po' meno veloce. A correre in Italia le prove sono differenti. È bello essere ritornato e fare delle gare del vostro campionato.
We're on board with Eric Seisser, caught up with him yesterday, and he's excited for the season ahead. He wasn't sure at the end of last year whether he would have driven this year, but he is back with Team MRF and delighted to be so. And he's a strong tarmac driver. We've heard some of the drivers say that some small parts of this rally are a little bit like Barham, in that they're bumpy, they're rough, they're broken.
Yeah, the road is very much broken. Yeah, I think so, but what I can see now is a little bit unsure. Eric is not really committed. He's braking a little bit before all the others and taking quite risky cuts. He's cutting quite a lot, and it doesn't seem like it's like very much committed, but we will see on the time. But for me, it looks like he's a bit cautious.
A huge talent on tarmac. He is definitely going to be one to watch here this weekend, and of course across the season when we see Eric Seisser. He completes 3.5 seconds adrift of the fastest time, so Miko Marcik still in the hot seat at the stage end right now. We switch to Jakob Matulka. Driver who really stepped up last year with his pace. We saw some really strong times from him, and I think now we've come to expect just more and more from Jakob. More on that story later, though. Let's cross out to Pete and Eric Seisser.
Eric, you might remember last year in Croatia when you helped MRF win the Teams Championship. I asked you if Vivek would invite you back, and he has invited you back. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you, Vivek, for sure. This hill climb racing, it's not so for me. I tried my best, but if you have to follow the clean line and you never done a second racing, it's quite hard. So yeah, it will be a difficult race for us, but we will do everything possible to score points and to be as much as high as possible. But yeah, really tricky weekend ahead of us. Thank you.
Yeah, he's worked hard behind the wheel there. You can hear it in his voice.
Yeah, and that's actually a sign, a little sign of that you are hesitating quite a lot when you're not stop breathing, but you forget to relax and forget to follow the flow and try to do, as he said, like a racing driver. And like you mentioned, it's like a hill climb rally. It's going a lot up in the beginning of the stage.
Mika Marcik and his co-driver Shimon still at the stop control. They're in the hot seat right now. They're the fastest through our qualifying stage at the moment, which means they remain there, and if they should be still fastest through at the end, they will win the coveted trophy. Jakob Matulka comes through. The clock is stopped at 2:56.9. That's second fastest. Great time on the board.
Jakob, for me, is a little bit like he's always been there the few last years, but all of a sudden, then he was fast. So it's, you know, it's down to seat time, experience, and then when everything is clicking together, and then it's working.
Always fantastic to have Jose Suarez on board. He's very much focused on the Spanish Championship, of course, but he said he always wants to get amongst it with the ERC drivers. We'll see how he performs this weekend.
Well, Jakob, that's the way to start the season. That's second fastest. Year 2 now for you in ERC. How much more confident are you feeling?
Yeah, quite a lot. Already on the recce, of course, we have some new stages, but the characteristic didn't surprise me. So I already knew what kind of stages will be here. So a lot more confident. So yeah, we will try to do our best and let's see what's possible. Thank you.
Talking about commitment and being relaxed, you can see Jose Suarez, he was tightening his belt and he was really relaxed, and you can also see that he's using every bit of the road. When it's possible to be like a racing driver, he's using all the width, all the time, trusting the grip.
Just a quick update then. Mika Marcik's 2:56.6 is yet to be beaten. Jakob Matulka was at 2:56.9. Andrea Mabellini was third fastest, then Gian Domenico Basso. Isak Grierson was fifth fastest, then Eric Seiss, then Simone Tempestini.
I think Suarez is very close now to beat Miko. It's going to be really tight.
Oh, great time on the board from Suarez. He becomes the new fastest driver through 2:56.4. Mika Marcik giving himself a little round of applause. I don't believe it. Julian Porter's our reporter out there. He wasn't keen to be first on the road, so he's not going to be too disappointed by being upstaged here by Suarez.
I'm curious to know why he didn't want to be first on the road, because from what I can see, it's quite a lot of cuts out there, and it's going to be quite messy on some of the stages, so I would prefer to be first.
We welcome reigning British Rally champions Will Crichton and Liam Regan to the European Rally Championship. They wanted to compete against Europeans' best drivers, and they'll be doing that this weekend.
Jose Antonio, that's the way to start the rally. Fastest in practice and fastest through so far in qualifying. How was it?
Yeah, we are here for this. So, well, it was a nice one. The stage is completely new for everyone, and it's really nice to be here and be the first fastest driver on the quali on the ERC season.
How important is that road position going to be, do you think?
I prefer to start in the front. Let's see how the cuts and everything.
It's personal preference, isn't it? But like you said, if it is going to get a little bit messy out there on the road, you want to be first. You want to have the cleanest road possible, the cleanest line.
Definitely, and it's easier to see also when you can follow all 4 wheels on the tarmac and don't need to be forced down in the cut, because it's also raised the risk of a puncture. And I know that some of the stages, especially stage number 9, in the middle of the stage, like for a 10-12 cases, there's quite rough when it's starting to cuts.
So Jose Suarez then is our new fastest time through. Let's see how Will Crichton measures up to the rest of the pack. It's 1.4 seconds adrift of Suarez's time. So it puts him 6th fastest.
Yeah, I think it's not too bad from him. It's a good start.
Gabor Nemeth now off the line. Welcome if you are just joining us. It is the qualifying stage on the opening round of the FIA European Rally Championship. First round, all the excitement is huge, I think. The anticipation of who can be on the podium this weekend. We look ahead across all the rounds we've got coming up. Who will be the champion at the end of it? That's a long way to go till we get to that point. Let's hear from Will.
Well, welcome to the ERC. That's 6th fastest so far in this qualifying session. Tell me, what are you targeting this weekend?
Yeah, the feeling in the car this morning's already been enjoyable, so just trying to get the most out of me. I think we could have done better in there. I just probably wasn't as efficient at the start, sliding a little bit. There's a little bit of gravel on the road now, so you need a big... It's okay. I think we brought it back a little bit in the end, so yeah, let's see.
And there is the trophy for the qualifying winner, whoever that may be. Right now, the fastest time is with Jose Suarez with a 2:56.4. He wants to be first on the road, so he is hoping that no one is going to beat that time. Let's see, though.
On my list, Bex, I got a few names to win the rally, and I think the only one behind Suarez now in the qualifying will be Timo Sunninen and maybe Ivan Ares to be able to beat him on the qualifying, I think.
Never forget about Philip Allen. How many power stages has he stolen from the drivers? You never know.
Philip came over to me and said, finally, there's a prize for winning qualifying stage, so I will try to win at least that prize, because to finish the rally, yeah, not always sure, but to win the qualifying stage, yes, that's the man.
You can't rule Philip Allen out, because he does like to throw in a bit of a shock result, doesn't he? Yeah, we've got, Marco Balassia, Faust Aldevar still to come through on this stage. There's still plenty of drivers who could take that top time away, but the road is getting a little bit messier out there.
Yeah, and Philip was actually 4 on the free practice, so his time was not too bad there. So yes, you got a point. He can steal that from Suarez.
Let's have a chat with Gabor Nemeth, who's come through 8th fastest on the qualifying
Gabor,
stage.
welcome to ERC 2026. How was the qualifying for you?
It was not easy after a long break. So to start the rally at such a fast stage like this, it's not easy. But okay, we know where we are standing, so for sure we need more kilometers to get more confidence. So, but we are curious about the next few days.
As are we all. Dominic Strateski. Czech legend, Barum specialist. And a man who knows what it takes on tarmac to deliver a top result. That's that opening marker on the cut, which is covered with gravel now.
There's actually a few ways to be a tarmac specialist, because we know that Dominic is really fast in like kind of Czech roads, more broken tarmac, more dirty tarmac, more like when there's pollution on the road, narrow and twisty. And this is more down to like a state we find in Spain, more floating roads, more wide. You will find more rhythm like a racing driver, so many of the drivers mentioned. So for Dominic, some of the stages here suits him really well, but the qualifying stage, I think it's not really the best stage for him to show his pace on tarmac.
Jose Suarez still watching on. He is still the fastest through on qualifying right now. And as we mentioned, he really does want to be first on the road. He wants the cleanest lines out there this weekend. So Roberto Blach has completed. 8th fastest time on the board out of 11 drivers that we have through so far on this first qualifying stage of the
Roberto,
ERC
welcome
season.
back to the ERC. How was that first qualifying stage?
All good. I'm too happy to be here. One more year, so yeah. New car, new tire, new co-driver, a lot of change, but I have a lot of motivation. My home rally, so yeah. I want to win the fight in the top 5. So yeah, I know that it's difficult, but I try to push a lot. So yeah, we'll see it.
Yeah, Daniel Sosa is alongside Roberto for this season. Quick reminder, if you are just joining us, it is Jose Suarez with a 2:56.4 who has set the fastest time on the board. This is a countdown now for Strateski. And there is Suarez patiently waiting to see if anyone is going to beat this time. 1.7 seconds adrift of that fastest time for Dominic. I think it is going to be a tough time to beat, but we still have some really great names to go. In fact, every name is great that is to come, but some potential drivers who could beat this fastest time.
I think I got 7 or 8 names on my list to win the rally. Not only to be on the podium on the top, I think it's possible for at least 7 or 8 drivers to win this rally. That just tells us the level, the quality of the championship.
Dominic, welcome back. Everything was new last year, but this year you come back to rallies you know. How important is that?
Hello, good morning. Yeah, it's important. I know what to expect, and to be honest, it's more difficult than the last year. But yeah, it's part of the game. Weather should be nice, and we will do our maximum.
How good does it feel to be back in this car?
Yeah, it's an amazing feeling, and I hope we will enjoy it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great question by Pete. You know, last year was such a learning curve, and we really saw that on some rallies where he just wasn't feeling so comfortable. This year, though, he knows what it's going to take out there. He knows the stages, he knows the characteristic. Be an interesting season ahead, certainly for Dominic.
And it means a lot for the confidence that you just know the road back to your hotel, you know the area, you know the atmosphere, the surface, and it means a lot.
I love the way that they're just both watching him disappear off into the distance.
And the feeling when everybody's passing you, is nice.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Is anybody going to beat the time of Suarez out there then to win the first qualifying stage of the ERC season? Philip Allen and Craig Drew are back in action this year and have been a pretty dynamic force behind the wheel. We've loved watching them. He's always searching out consistency, Philip Allen.
Yeah, and we know
he's
that
certainly got raw speed, Ivan, hasn't he?
He definitely got some speed, and he's always pushing on qualifying. So we will, like you said, might little surprise there for Suarez that Philip is pushing so hard now, and he's willing to take some chances to be on the top of qualifying.
Now, this is an interesting prospect for the weekend. Kalle Kohlberg, who, of course, is the reigning junior ERC champion. He stepped into WRC this year, but he's now into Rally 2 here in the ERC as well. Okay, Philip Allen, not the fastest, 4th fastest. It's a decent time with the board in
That's a
7
strong
tenths
time,
off.
4th quickest through there. Tell me, how is it going in this new car?
Yeah, the package feels good, to be honest. I'm starting to enjoy the Toyota. Obviously, the Michelin's right on top of his game in these conditions. I think it's probably the best tyre at the minute, but yeah, we didn't do nothing mad. Probably left a little bit in there, but I'm exactly where I want to be, roughly. So, yeah, it feels okay.
I mean, you've got more space to give?
Well, that would be the plan, hopefully.
Oof, that's a bit of fighting talk there from Philip Allen,
Yeah,
huh?
Philip always got more to give. He's always really motivated, and not so often that he's finishing when he's pushing on the very, very top level, but we know his highest speed and level is very much high.
Some fans there alongside the road. Thumbs up from Craig Drew as he passes by. And they pass by the The crew who are the fastest through so far, at least. Is anyone going to beat them out there? That is the big question. Slug of water for Jose Suarez. It is a hot day, and it's going to be hot for the entire rally. I think the maximum temperatures we reach tomorrow on Saturday, it's already over 30 degrees, but it's just going to get a little bit hotter on the opening day proper of competition. We kickstart today, of course, with a super special stage. We're up into the beautiful mountainsides tomorrow, in the heart of Córdoba this evening.
Was it only me, or was something like not 100% correct under Karlberg's car? You could see something was touching the ground.
Okay.
Like the sump guard was a little bit too low in one corner.
We'll take a look at it when we see it again. We welcome back Andras Haddock to the championship. And a quick reminder for you, Suarez leading the stage right now. Mika Marcik, second fastest. Jakob Matulka, third fastest. There's Karlberg. In between Strateski and Roberto
Carly,
Black.
strange noise there as the car was coming up to the stop line. What's going on?
I don't know. I just had no grip, and the car was moving very strangely the whole way, so had no confidence at all. I don't know what it is. Maybe in a cut or something. We'll see. We'll have to go back.
You thought you could see those something either?
I think the sump guard is broken.
Okay. Something is rattling around underneath it. Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's the bolts, the screws holding the sump guard there was both out. So.
Okay. So maybe he's kind of dislodged that on a cut, potentially.
Yeah, it's dead honest. It's two options. Either it's broken in a cut or it's not tightened perfectly on service. But it's 1 out of 2, I think.
Jose Suarez continues to wait here. We just saw Tristan Charpentier off the line, another driver who's stepping up in terms of categories. Tristan, we saw some fantastic things from him, and then he just kind of disappeared for a bit. We were like, oh, what's happening? But he's back, and he's back in Rally 2. It's exciting to see, because it's another prospect, another driver who can really get in the mix out there. You know, how big a challenge is it when you're stepping up categories, Ivan?
It's difficult because everything happens faster. So from like a Rally 4, Rally 3, Rally 2 and Rally 1, it's the same kind of style of driving, but everything happens faster from in between the corners and in the brakings, and everything arrives in a higher speed, and the average speed is higher. So we know from the past that our world champions, they are starting in the junior category, but they are using the same kind of style, the driving style we can see all through the career. It's just everything happens so fast, and you need seat time to adapt to it. So we can see the brakes on Andras' car is giving some smoke.
Third in the Masters category last year.
Andras, welcome back to ERC for 2026. How was that qualifying?
Thank you. New season, new challenge. I enjoyed the driving. Thank you.
Yeah, it was Martin Vlček who won the Masters, or the FIA Master ERC Championship last year. Andras Haddock was third place. So, as he says, new challenges ahead for him this year. Now we welcome Teemu Sunninen to the ERC Championship. I think we were all like, wow, when we saw the news break that Teemu Sunninen was going to be entering a full season in the ERC. He's only done one round previously in ERC, and that was a number of years ago. To have Teemu Sunninen, who's been at the top flight in WRC, competed ERC now this season, it's exciting. He said to me last night, he wanted to join the championship. He saw how strong everyone was last year. He wanted to compete against the best in Europe, and that's exactly what he's doing out there.
And I mean, I think he's aiming the same, like I would say many of us drivers fighting for next year when there's new rules in WRC as well. You know, there's more drivers. You can enter the rally and fight for that win, the overall win. So I think many of the drivers really want to show their pace this year in ERC as well to prove their speed. And it's great to have Teemu Sunninen in the ERC. So experienced driver. That was a late braking.
A little late on the braking there. He just lost the car a little, but he corrected it. Saved it quite well. That will impact a little on the time, though.
And I think he's also maybe pushing a little bit too much when the car is unstable on the braking like that.
Let's hear from Tristan Charpentier.
Tristan, stepping up to the Rally 2 car this year, how are you enjoying it so far?
Yeah, I mean, the car is really nice, you know, to step up from Rally 3 to Rally 2. It's really nice, but it's such a shame, we couldn't shift from second to third at the section, so we lost like a lot. But it's first qualifying, so we'll keep it up.
Yeah, as we said, a lot of change for Tristan Charpentier. Steps up into Rally 2 machinery this year. You'll be able to follow all of these drivers as they plan to be in the top 3 positions.
Oh, there you can see replay.
At the replay of Teemu Suunanen, just hot on the braking there, a little late.
But I think he's pushing quite hard, so the time won't be too bad, I think. He's really, he knows how important it is in the qualifying, so I don't think maybe he will match Suarez and Manchek, but
2:56.4 was the fastest time through. We are counting down to that right now.
It will be very close, I think, but maybe a second behind. We'll see.
1.1 seconds behind you. Bang on the money, Ivan Brynildsen. It's the reason we bring you along to these gigs, you know?
But I think he's compensating a little bit from lack of tarmac driving lately with pretty hard push. He's pushing very much, and then he's compensating with his experience. You saw more clean driving and clean lines from Suarez.
Fau Zaldivar now into the stage. Another driver who we've seen most regularly in the WRC2 Championship, taking on the challenge of ERC this year. Let's cross out though back to Pete Mackay. Over to you, Pete.
Teemu, that's 1.1 seconds off the quickest time there. Tell us how that qualifying run went.
It was okay. Bit more gravel what I expected. Took a bit carefully in places, so immediately they are taking some time. But that's nice challenge for us, and just have to focus to our own thing, do the best possible job.
It's a whole new package, new car, tyre, co-driver, everything. How are you finding it so far?
So far so good. There's a lot to learn from my side. We didn't have a long test, but hopefully I can bring with my experience a bit closer to top guys and get a good result from here and get nice experience from the ERCs.
Yeah, talking about using this experience, I think that's just the time now to use it.
Is Jose Suarez feeling pretty confident? He's watching quite closely the footage as Zaldivar now races towards the flying finish of the qualifying stage. What kind of time are we going to see here from Fau?
Very aggressive.
Very aggressive on the cut there. But we are into red numbers. The clock's run on, but it was around about 3 seconds slower.
It's quite cool, Max, that we have a driver doing podium in WRC2 in Safari Rally. He's fighting really much, very much in the top there, and then he's 13 on the qualifying in the European Championship. I mean, the level of the drivers in the championship in ERC,
it's very high.
They are not kidding around, they are serious.
Fau, back on tarmac after a little while. How is it going so far?
Well, yeah, it's been a while since we drove in tarmac, so yeah, the objective for the weekend is try to get back the experience, try to get the knowledge again, so yeah. Not the best of the drives here, but okay, it's still a very long weekend, and we will try to go from slow to a bit faster.
That's the plan then. Callum Devine and Noel O'Sullivan now. Callum reigning Irish tarmac champion. This man knows tarmac like the back of his hand.
Yeah, but again, like a little bit like Dominic Monteschi, it's for Callum also. It's a kind of different tarmac.
Definitely, completely.
So
you said this last night.
Yeah, so you know the business, but in a way you're used to other kind of grip levels and surface. Even though we are on the same kind of surface, it's different. Sunglasses back on.
Yep.
El Matador.
Right now, we're watching the countdown as Callum Devine makes his way towards the stage end. Callum is going to be looking at the tarmac events here, and he's going to be teammates this weekend with Isak Riesen.
Yep.
And Adam Gron.
And Adam Gron.
Okay, the time is really ticking away here. That clock might have run on, though. We'll give you a complete time for Callum Devine when we get it here. But Jose Suarez still waiting. Yeah, still waiting for time for Callum as soon as we get it. I have it now. It's 3 minutes, 0.3. 3 minutes, 0.3.
Callum, welcome back to the ERC. Tell me how exciting this season ahead is for you.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Look, it's great to be here. I've got nothing but rain over my last couple of rides back at home, so a bit of sunshine is definitely a welcome one. So, yeah, look, great to be here. Bit of a slow start. A couple of wee mistakes in there from our end. Probably lost the momentum up the hill, but yeah, we got round it. Looking forward ahead.
Yeah, one out of a few drivers hoping for rain this week, I think.
He did say this. I asked him how difficult it was going to be, you know, with the heat here, because he said, yeah, well, I'm used to a little bit cooler conditions at home and rain. But he was up for it. I also asked him whether, you know, he's teaching the team a few Irish phrases. You know, he's in a Swedish team, yes. Swedish drivers, and he's the only Irishman there, him and Noel. I'm sure there's quite some chat. Another man who could potentially upset the apple cart here, Ivan Ares, is off the line. That cut is just getting deeper and deeper. We've seen on that corner there, you can hear they're all pretty much hitting the sump on that cut.
Yeah, and it's quite a few of them on the rallies, actually. I thought they were not cutting too much on this qualifying stage, but they will see the same kind of cuts. They will. If our clock is correct, I think even have done some mistake, I think, because it was already past 3 minutes.
Yeah, we've got a completed time on the board for him. It was a 2-minute 58.
Yeah.
2-minute 58.
Then.
So that's 10th fastest. Still Suarez, who is leading the qualifying stage right now. So they have to stay in position there and wait.
Not a perfect start from Jorge.
Difficult though, isn't it, sometimes to balance when you're on the start line. There's kind of a lot of pressure on your shoulders. You want to set a good time here. It's all on that moment, and sometimes we do see mistakes. It's unfortunate because he's lost a few seconds there.
Yeah, and they're doing so many things at the same time. You're releasing the handbrake and you're adjusting the throttle and dropping the clutch at the same time, and easy to do mistakes.
10th fastest through there, how was it?
No, ha sido un buen tramo, pero bueno, hay un poco de suciedad y quizás cometimos algún error, pero es lo que hay.
So he said it's a good stage. It is a little bit dirty in there, though, and he made a few mistakes. You mentioned that. You already saw, you clocked the kind of the midpoint time. I think as you said, very easy to make mistakes. Very easy to be a little bit late on the braking. So we certainly saw that from Sunanen earlier.
And Jorge as well in this last third last corner was locking up the wheels a little bit.
We wait to show you a completed time on the board. And yeah, still waiting for the moment. We'll hear from him. Now there it is. Comes in 9th fastest. So we've got a total of 15 drivers who've made their way through the stage so far. It is still Suarez who leads the qualifying stage here on the opening round of the European Rally Championship for 2026.
Jorge, that's 9th fastest in the qualifying there. How was it?
Bueno, bien. Llevamos problemas en el coche esa primera pasada con la pop-off. No corre lo que tenía que correr, pero bueno, vamos, no pudimos cambiarla hasta, no nos dejan cambiarla hasta después de que acabemos ahora la quali, así que esperemos poder solucionar los problemas para empezar bien el rally.
Okay, so he's basically saying that the car isn't running as fast as it should. He wants to change some stuff, but that will be changed after the qualifying stage is done, and it is done for them now. They'll be making their way back to the service area. So we have a total of 21 cars who have completed the qualifying stage so far. And that's Adrian Rzeźnik now, who is into the first qualifying of the year. And again, a driver who was really quite exciting to watch last year in terms of times. And there's so many drivers who want to build on the experience that they got last season, bring it into a brand new season and compete as high up as they possibly can. We still have quite a few drivers to go yet to complete qualifying. I am not sure, though, if we're going to have anyone coming through now who can beat that fastest time on the board. Jose Suarez is going to have to do a puzzle or a crossword or something to keep himself entertained while he waits for the rest of the drivers to come through.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there's nobody really with experience on tarmac to beat those two guys in picture here. It's, you know, Marco Bulacha, a lot of experience, but not on tarmac. Done so many rallies in WRC2, but most of them on gravel.
Yep.
So, except some rallies in Monte Carlo, but yes, Candy Crush, something. I have some ideas just to play something on his phone to get the time running.
Adrian, that's just 3.5 off the quickest time in early days in your Rally 2 career. How do you feel?
I feel great. I lost 1 second in one corner because it's too fast for me, and we had pollution on the road. But it's okay. My feeling is great. I am learning all the time, so we are so happy to be here all the second time. So yeah, keep finger across for us and all the time smiling. Thank you.
Adrian, you've fastly become my new favourite out there. It's definitely a positive mindset, but that's a great time with a step up this year. Benjamin Korhola now, flying Finn off the line. And again, we're seeing more and more drivers who are taking, you know, the step up. And like you mentioned, everything is coming at you a little bit faster. You have to speed up your notes. You have to be a little bit more on the ball than you were before. It's a big change, even if it looks like a small change from the outside.
Yeah, maybe less notes as well, because the co-driver have less time to read everything. So if you have really detailed pace notes, and you're going up a category and everything happened faster, you need to adjust the pace notes a little bit as well, and correct the pace notes if you're going from two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive, just to make sure that you will carry all the speed all the time.
If you have any questions for Ivan Brynildsen during the weekend, any rally-related or non-rally-related questions, he'll answer anything. Make sure you get them into us using the hashtag FIA ERC. We'll be able to see what you're chatting about on social media during the weekend. It's Marco Bulacia and Axel Coronado now off the line. And again, fantastic to see Marco choose the European Rally Championship. Driver who's got a wide array of experience within WRC. Like you said, though, predominantly gravel has been his favoured surface. Let's catch up with Benjamin Korhola.
Benjamin, quite a lot of cars have come through now. What's the road looking like?
Yeah, there's some gravel, but I had a stupid spin in the first corner. But yeah, well, other than that was okay, but yeah, it was stupid to lose time there. I don't know what happened. It was just slippery and the rear clipped, so okay.
That's okay.
We've seen, though, from some of the onboard cameras that we've had in the cars, you know, the opening couple of corners have been pretty dirty now. Big cut there from Marco.
And you can see when Marco is cutting so early in as well, they need to follow all the way around because there's so much gravel outside, and then you will get this tail-happy car through these cuts. The first corner actually on this qualifying stage, it's a bit tricky. It's a bit broken in the outside of the corner, and it's tightening pretty much quickly through the corner. So you need to be prepared and remember that you have a little bit cold tires.
Yeah, that's another factor, isn't it? You know, they're trying to warm the tires up as much as they can before the start of the stage, but then the heat is coming. Marco Balasia completes 5 seconds off the pace. Looking forward to seeing what Marco can do throughout the weekend, as is the same for all the drivers. And for me, especially the drivers who are stepping up categories, because that's an exciting change in a driver's career. Obviously, they want to do the best they can. Let's have a chat with Marco.
Marco, welcome to the European Rally Championship. How was your first qualifying stage of the year?
Yeah, it was quite scary because the stage is really fast and the cuts are getting more deep. But yeah, we are here to learn our pace back again on tarmac after more than 3 years. But yeah, it will be a tough rally because I would say that this rally is more for a tarmac specialist, but also a good learning.
It is going to be a hard weekend, but if you're going to learn your trade, it's a good place to do it. And against some of the best out there, it is Suarez then, who has taken the fastest time on the qualifying stage. Okay, so I think they can start now to move away from the hot seat. They're going to have a chat with Julian Porter in just a few moments' time. But a great run through for him is a great start to his rally. Let's see if we can cross out then to Julian and get a few words from the man who set the fastest time on the board.
Okay, we're just going to grab a quick word with Jose. Jose, obviously just watching what is going on there now. I mean, what are your thoughts with a few more cars still to go?
Feeling was quite okay. I think I did 2 mistakes. I was pushing too much in the first part of the stage, but okay, it was enough to, by the moment, to be the fastest crew. So happy, and we will see tomorrow.
We will see tomorrow. I mean, tarmac rallies, the road generally gets dirtier with all the cuts. Is this the best place to be, or would you like to be maybe second or third and let someone else find the little tricky places?
I think I will touch wood. Okay. I think I know the tricky places, so will be funny. Paint the road and then see what we paint.
And it is. I love that saying, paint the road, leave those bits of gravel, those black marks. Who do you think is the biggest challenger this weekend? A lot of strong European Championship contenders as well as some Spanish drivers.
As usual in rallies, be faster than everyone and make less mistakes than them. So. It's a hard position for me because my target is the Spanish Championship. Actually, the Spanish Championship level is so high. So running normal in Spain, we will be up on the classification. But let's see what say the bosses, and we will see. It's a long weekend ahead.
Okay, couple more cars to go. We'll see whether you actually can clinch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a couple more cars to come through, but I think pretty much in terms of the pace he's delivered out there and his pedigree on tarmac, I think that is going his way. Let's take a look at the results then, with Suarez at the top of the table with a 256.4. Miko Marchik was just 0.2 of a second behind that. So this will now be the road order that we see throughout the weekend ahead. And I think it is going to be interesting, as Jose was saying, you know, he is hoping that first place is the best place to be on the road for him. A reminder of the schedule ahead. We kickstart this evening, so make sure there's no plans for Friday night. You need to be watching the Super Special. We're starting at 7:30 in the evening with our build-up show, our pre-show to the start, the absolute start of the season. And of course, then we'll be back in action throughout Saturday and Sunday, where we'll find out who is the winner of Rally Sierra Morena. Make sure you join us.